Uh, Hello, everyone, and welcome to our conversation. My name is Oksana Lasievskaya. I'm a partner at SL Partners and the chairman of ACCA Russia Network Panel. Today, we'll be focusing on the global impact of the COVID-19 crisis on business. And I'm delighted to welcome Matthew Wong as our speaker today. Matthew is a partner at PwC and the leader of PwC China's financial services tax practice. Matthew has over 30 years of extensive experience in accounting in Hong Kong and mainland China. Matthew is also a trusted tax advisor to many Fortune 500 financial service companies, international hedge funds, and private equity houses making investments into Asia and particularly China. In 2017, Matthew was elected as ACCA Council and dedicates a lot of his time to ACCA and ACCA members. Matthew, welcome, and let's kick off with the first two interrelated questions. Could you please give your views on the consulting business and how COVID-19 crisis has impacted it? And how do you expect consulting business to go more digital, or would it remain the same and get back to what it was before the pandemic? It's over to you now, Matthew.
Thank you, Oksana. First of all, I'd like to wish the audience of this particular video staying safe and healthy in these pandemics. Talking about consulting business, I think the core of consulting business is on building trust and for solving important problems for our clients. COVID-19 has created an unprecedented threat globally for public health, for economic activities, as well as the social life of human beings. So it obviously offers not only a challenge, but also tremendous opportunity for consulting business, because consulting business main theme is to solve difficult problems for our clients, in particular for these crises. I would say that, I want to share my experience with you in China with my firms. In my firm, we have deported a lot of resources in our consulting business during this pandemic, in particular focusing on crisis management and business recovery services to save for new business opportunity on the clients for crisis. I would say that we are continuing offering new services to our clients and new ways to doing business in these particular unprecedented situations. One more point I would like to talk about is the drive of consulting business is our people. So the health, safety, and well-being of our consultants is always the priority. During the COVID-19 crisis, our consulting business has developed various alternative delivery model, ADM, to protect our consultants against this invisible enemy, maintain social distancing and encourage collaborations and improve efficiencies. Like all other business, consulting business are always at the forefront to become more digital. This is not just because of the pandemics. This is undoubtedly driven by the clients, which demands more digital and automated solutions for their problems. Meanwhile, all consultants and service providers also need to learn more digital skills and tools to improve their efficiencies. For example, in our firm in Hong Kong, China, we emphasize the point new world and new skills. We put every effort to make our partners and consultants to maintain digital fitness. During the initial lockdown period in China, our China firm has organized a lot of online study groups to help our consultants to learn new technology tools on AI, RPA. For example, you have heard about the name of UiPath is RPA tools. We also introduced Otrix, a more powerful spreadsheet types of tools to help our clients to solve our clients' more difficult problems in computing very difficult issues.
Excellent. I'm very happy to hear that you're so well prepared and consulting businesses going on and prospering. It's really nice to hear that. And I know now that you already seems to be off quarantine, but as I understand, your business is going the same way. There's not much changes in terms of your client relations. You support them the same way. And I'm sure that you will benefit even more after pandemic because you have established such a good trustworthy relations with the clients. And I'm sure that they appreciate it, right? So the second question, do you see other businesses to change their work style after pandemic? For example, we see that many IT companies such as Google and Facebook have started up working from home and are expected to be working from home until the end of 2020. So do you expect that many businesses to change their business concept and allow more employees to work from home? Or will they return back to the pandemic business style when COVID-19 crisis is over? What is your view on that?
Well, my view is very simple. The answer must be yes. As we see, business as usual is no longer a possibility. So every business needs to transform to tackle this new normal. The only difference is how fast each of the business can adapt to the change to respond to the crisis. The leading firm would like to be the game changers. Others may be followers. You mentioned the work from home mode for employees. This is only one way to respond to the global lockdown. I believe that employees just need to be more flexible in assuming their duties and responsibility in work. In our firms in China and Hong Kong, we already implement a new work flexibility model for our staff. 1 year before the pandemics, we call this as reflex. We offer work flexibility to all our staff and partners in 3 different dimensions. The first one is, the time. You don't need to work 9 to 5. You can select the time slot for you to work more closely with the clients. They may be in the US time zone or in the EU time zone. Another dimension on the work flexibility is the locations. You don't need to just work in the company's office or in the client's office. You can work from home. You can work in any particular location you find it most effective for you to serve the clients. Maybe you need to work in the train, you need to work in a coffee shop, etc. So work location also is a flexibility for us to adopt this work from home initiative. The third flexibility for work is on your dress codes. You can dress up or down depending on what kind of clients you need to meet. For banking and capital market clients, you need to be dressed up. You need to be formal. Whereas you work with those clients from new economy or in technology, you try to dress down to meet their dress codes. So I think AI, big data, cloud computing, and 5Gs offer business unlimited space for alternative delivery model. I talked about the ADM before, so I keep on talking that because we need to have the new skills to transform ourselves. Take another, for example, in ACCA, we are accelerating our plan for a move to enable students to make examination at home or in another locations where center-based examination seating are disrupted, say, by this particular virus.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm very happy to hear that the lifestyle is changing and people become more flexible. So nowadays, they seems to have more chances to travel and work from different places. They are not sort of linked up to one particular spot in the whole world. So then now they can actually, they can perform from any place, whatever they want. It just adds up lots of more flexibility. Macy, thank you very much. And the next question is quite hard. It's very broad. What most common problems companies are experiencing right now from your point of view? Yes, so what can you say about that?
I think, the most common problem faced by the business now is a very simple issue. That is how to survive in the crisis. Well, to put your question in context, I think the most common questions faced by a business now would depend on the stage of reaction of the crisis in their markets. Generally, governments and markets need to go through 3 stages of reaction to this crisis. The first stage of reaction is definitely to deal with the business interruptions by COVID-19, and the main issues faced by the companies is to ensure that employees are staying safe and healthy and can continue to work remotely and safely. Also, they need to ensure that, investors, customers, suppliers, and regulators are all given support to their business and their company. In China, you can see that China is the first country being hit by this virus. So in February and March, we go through the first stage of reaction, and companies' major activities is to build up their business continuity plan to deal with the interruptions by COVID-19. Now you can also see that China is the first country that bring the virus under control. So we are on the second stage of the reaction of this crisis. Well, and we can basically say this is the stabilization phase of the reactions. So in China, we have seen companies now facing the major issue is how to realign their supply chain, how to make sure their customer and their supply is happy, and how to maintain liquidity, solvency, and the financial strength for them to survive in these interim periods. Well, the major issue for them is definitely cash is king. They need to manage their resources in the right way. So supposing we are able to get across this virus in the next couple of months, and major nations have all resumed their activities and control and contain the virus in the right ways, then we need to go to the third stage of the reaction of this crisis. That is about how to adapt the new normal, how we can learn from these lessons and build up a more sustainable business. These may include finding new revenues and reduce our cost structures and improve our productivities and prepare our workforce for the new world, as well as look for new opportunities for growth. So I think that is what we will see about, well, the major issue and problems company or business or industry are facing over these 3 stages of reaction of the crisis.
Macy, excellent. Thank you very much for your answer. It's really difficult time that we're living right now, but I'm sure that we will get through that, and companies will benefit at the end of it and will become new businesses, and it will be, I'm sure, very much successful. So the next question is related to mainly your topic that you are a very good expert in. It's in terms of offshore jurisdictions, and what is your view, your personal view on the offshore jurisdictions, or your professional view, I might say, which have become very popular during 90s and 2000s. And right now we can see that governments are looking at them very precisely, especially they become quite under sort of close look in terms of tax issues. So what will these jurisdictions remain, or will they be squeezed out? What would happen to them? What is your expectation as a professional?
Well, a number of global events and megatrends have brought a concern to international business and investors to put more disciplines on the use of offshore jurisdictions for their business. The famous Panama Papers uncover how the wealthy and powerful people use tax havens to get across or get around the law. So in recent years, the US FATCA rules, the global CRS Common Reporting Standard initiatives, as well as various international rules governing anti-money laundering has imposed many new reporting requirements to make entities register in offshore jurisdictions to be more transparent to regulators and tax authorities all over the world. Many offshore jurisdictions have been working very hard to cooperate with global tax authorities and regulators to improve their transparency. For example, we have seen, well, Bermuda, BVI, Cayman Islands, etc., have introduced their economic substance rules last year for their international company setup. At the same time, global business still have a strong interest or business needs to use offshore companies in right jurisdictions to be their holding structures for many different business transactions like IPOs in the stock markets, fund setups, or holding of intellectual properties. So there is a real need for business continue to use offshore jurisdictions in the right way. Having said that, what we have observed that many countries in OECD, in particular EU, are still not very comfortable to some offshore jurisdiction, in particular on these anti-tax abuses. Over the past years, the OECD BEPS initiative, base erosion, profit shifting types of initiative, have keep on driving many new rules to combat harmful tax structures, treaty shopping, etc., through the use of offshore structures. So in February, we have seen EU have put Cayman Islands in their list of non-cooperative jurisdictions for tax purposes. So to sum up, we see that, well, the improvement of some offshore jurisdictions are not enough. For example, like Cayman Islands. So these jurisdictions may be further squeezed out by international regulators and governments on one hand. On the other hand, we also see some jurisdictions, offshore jurisdictions, have become more popular. In Asia, we have seen that international investors and international business have increasingly used Singapore and Hong Kong as their holding structures.
Interesting trends. Thank you very much. It opens up a lot for myself. Thanks a lot. And the last question, you are in the heart of ACCA, you are ACCA Council. How ACCA helps out financial community during the COVID-19 crisis?
Well, being professional accountants, our members are at the forefront of managing, safeguarding, and advising the financial community of the business worldwide. ACCA member will continue to play this key role in helping financial community during the pandemic. In particular, I can see that our members are assisting the financial community to assess the risks of the crisis. They are taking a very active role to guide business through the challenges in these difficult times. They also play a key role in business continuity in the current crisis. Well, you can see that ACCA is very conscious of the changing needs and concern of our members and our wider connection with the financial communities. With a massive global network of over 200,000 members and 550,000 affiliates and future members, ACCA has tremendous power of connection to support the financial communities by working together and finding the solution together. More specifically, we have seen that ACCA has put in place a wide range of steps to support our members and financial communities, including the provision of unlimited online practice development resources and webinars. Through our global networks, we have been able to source business leaders and specialists in different financial aspects and different industries to come to our webcasts, come to our online training sections to speak on their experience, their insights to combat with this particular crisis. ACCA also conducts COVID-19 surveys and issue a number of reports, including thought leadership articles, to look at all these challenges arising from the crisis and suggest mitigation steps. Recently, you have also seen that ACCA has launched an information hub, ACCA Global COVID-19, to bring together all the online resources for reference by our members and the financial communities. That's what we have seen now, and I think ACCA will continue to support the financial communities through our members, through our network, and through our resources.
You're right, Matthew. I can see that ACCA helps a lot the financial community to go through this difficult time. It places so many interesting CPD webinars that are open for everyone, and the help that the support that it provides to the financial community is tremendous and admiring from my point of view. I would like to thank you very much for taking your time, for sharing your great ideas and views. You're a true resource and advocate for ACCA members, and I will be very much happy to talk to you again. And thank you all for listening to our conversation, and goodbye.